And of course, follow Clash of Titans themselves on Facebook for all of the updates. Visit RCDrift.io on the tournaments page if you want to follow the results. But for now, watch this unfold. Watch those lights. Sebastian Thorley out front now, giving lead to Lorenzo. Sebastian already walking away just a little bit. Lorenzo's now going to have to work catch up for the rest of this run, and it's going to be a hard job against Sebastian. Look at him taking that dive there, a little bit shallow on the angle just to try and get up on Seb's door. Still not quite managing it. Seb doing exactly what he did yesterday in qualifying, right up against that outside zone wall. Really easily done. Lorenzo still not quite there. We need more from Lorenzo for this, but Sebastian's now going to walk away with just slightly good transitions. Comes up a little bit short on the zone. Gives the opportunity for Lorenzo just to pull in. Lorenzo coming offline ever so slightly off the back of the transition and has to work extra hard now to make it count. Difficult position for Lorenzo to be in there. And Sebastian, of course, what a machine. Second half of this battle, though, let's see what happens. We're going to have to see Sebastian slow the car now to try and cope behind Lorenzo, and he's going to do a stellar job of it, I'm sure. Look at him there, laying down that wheel speed to make it happen. But Lorenzo doing all he can to put down a good qualifying line. We see a little bit of a mistake there in the lead, and Sebastian has really monopolised on it. Oh, he's really inside of his door again. We see Lorenzo just a little bit shallow on it, and Sebastian taking full advantage, almost pushing him around the corner. He's going to have to step back now as they transition down the straight. Can he predict it? Seb's done a really good job there of predicting Lorenzo's transition, but what a transition from Lorenzo as well, down to that outside zone. At zone 5 now, filled beautifully well. Lorenzo really doing a good job, but Seb is there the whole way. God, I hope he doesn't get faster, because I'm out of breath. Amazing work, so we see it go one more time with one judge, but of course, advancing is Sebastian Thorley for that one, and that retires Lorenzo for the weekend. Nonetheless, to come this... Keep the comments coming. Who do you think's taking it? Seb or Dan? This could go either way in my opinion. Both very different styles of driving as well. Seb a little bit more aggressive in it, and Dan very technical, following that line exactly as he needs to. We're going to have Seb leading first though. Let's light him up. Alright, Seb out front, Dan already a little bit offline, going to have to work to get there with Seb. There is contact between the two. We see Dan now fall back as a result of that contact. Seb just kind of walking away with it a little bit. Dan's going to really have to now work super hard to pick up that proximity. He doesn't quite manage it, he's still behind. Take the dive, Dan, take the dive. He's not doing it just yet. Seb's still there on that perfect qualifying line, doing an amazing job, being exactly where he needs to be, leaving all the room in the world for Dan, and Dan just hasn't quite got the answer for it. They head down, do the snap. Look at that from Seb, look at Dan, he's right with him. Little bit of contact through that zone as well, but a huge angle being put down by Seb all the way around outside zone 5 as well. Wow. That's going to be very interesting as they switch into the second half of this. I think Dan was just falling behind ever so slightly. Sebastian Thorley, two-time winner of Clash of the Titans. Is he going to walk away with this against Dan, who has already taken out Vincent, last year's champion? Can do it. Dan do it again against Sebastian. Let's see. Seb just falls back slightly. A bit of an awkward transition. We see Seb on the wall ahead of the touch and go. Very awkward transition. Dan now in that outside zone. Is Seb going to now play hard to try and make up for that bit of wall contact? Did the judges see it? We will see. Dan's there now. Outside zone 3. Beautifully done. He's left all the room in the world for Seb to get there. And Dan just doesn't quite have the pace to match Seb either. So Seb is right there up on his door. Out of zone 6. They don't make it. It's not 6, 5. Then we transition down into the straight. Here we go. Over the line, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Very tight driving. Judges are going to be deliberating this one for a while. One more time, they've called it. Okay, we're going to forget that happened. I think both drivers now are going to be saying, okay, how can I push the bar that little bit further to make the decision definitive? And that's really what matters. But let's run it. We've got Seb out front again now. Dan in the chase again. He's going to be playing hard this time. Way more aggressive already. He's not falling back. He's playing hard. Look at him taking that dive against Seb. Just a little bit shallow on the angle, but Seb is right on the line. That transition, beautifully done. Down into outer zone 3. Seb right on that qualifying line. Dan's right there with him with an answer for it. The transition, easy done. Dan just falls back slightly. Dan now, one tyre up on the curb is going to cost him slightly as they head down the straight. Seb's just running away with it slightly. Dan's going to have to take another dive to make it work. Dan's just still not quite mimicking that angle like he needs to. Transitions out into outer zone 5, all the way around. Look at him up on the door. Ho-ho! Like we say, one more time as they get close. Both drivers have now looked at their opponent and thought, how's he running this? And let's watch what happens now with Seb in the chase position. Can he make it more obvious? We see Seb fall back ever so slightly. A bit of an awkward initiation as he follows Dan. Much better this job. Steers well clear of the wall that cost him the one more time in the last run. Deep dive for Seb there. Up onto Dan's door. Dan doing a really good job running that qualifying line. We see some contact between the two. Just pushes Dan to make second contact on the wall. Interesting stuff. Seb's now there, back on his door again. We're going to see who's at fault for that contact real soon. But now they head down the straight, transitioned in. Look at Seb right on Dan's door, mimicking beautifully through that outside zone. They transition now up into outside zone 5. Beautifully done. Just falling back slightly and over the line. Wowee, that contact there for Seb again. Is it going to send? And the decision is in. It is split one more time from one judge, but 2 going with Seb. And that's unfortunate for Dan, and that does retire him for today. Japanese drivers are bringing the fire. We are off though now with Sebastian Thorley and Simen. We see Simen out front. Sebastian's right here with him, although transitions through the touch and go. The pace now really picking up. Sebastian is right there with Simen. This is going to get messy, and he did it. Whoa, Simen comes out really wide off the back of that second outside turn. Sebastian is now there with him though. A bit of an awkward transition, a little bit of contact through outside zone 3 as well. They're now going to head down the straight. Look at Sebastian right there. Look at that from Sebastian. Big angle, a big knock on the wall from Simen as well. That's going to be interesting to decipher. Very interesting. See Judge Ty shaking his head. That was big angle from Sebastian in the chase, and a big mistake from Simen out front as well. They were both on the wall. They're chuckling about it. But will they be chuckling now as we head into the second half of this? Are they going to do it again? Watch those lights and let's get into it. Sebastian now out front with Simen in the chase. As zone 1 field beautifully well. Simen just straightening up ever so slightly. Tucks in behind Sebastian. They transition down into outside zone 2. Simen is not giving Sebastian an inch of space. Sebastian leaving a nice amount of room for the transition to work out. They're going to transition now into this in a clip. Watch how they do. Simen takes the dive. They're now going to set up for the straight. This is where it's going to matter. Is there going to be a mistake, or can they make it happen? Look at that from Sebastian. Beautifully failed. Simen is just right there with him. Simen comes just slightly offline in the chase position. Sebastian now just runs away with it slightly and over the line. Had contact with the wall. I think Simen may have been slightly earlier. Yep, and you see it there. So that means that Sebastian does take the win on that front. Has Sebastian got what it takes to take on Junta from Team Overdose? This is Taylor's oldest time. Team Rêve D versus Team Overdose. So we see Junta out front to start. Sebastian in the chase. Sebastian's really going to be trying to put on that pressure now to stay with Junta. He's doing a good job of it so far. He's going to try and push a mistake out of Junta, but I don't think it's going to happen today. Junta has been on fine form. We see a little bit of a hook up there from Sebastian in a chase position. Beautiful transition though. He's now back on the door through outside zone 3. Transitions into the inner clip. They're now going to set up the cars to head down the straight and aim for that final zone. How's it going to work out for them? Junta's right there. Sebastian's right there with him. Look at the proximity on that. We see Seb just slightly deeper into the zone. Junta just steps out ever so slightly, transitions into 5 all the way around. Very nicely done up on the door and over the line. They're going to swap over now and we'll see Junta in the chase position. Sebastian out front. Watch those lights. This could go either way still. Junta is going to apply that pressure now to Sebastian, and let's see if Sebastian has what it takes to stick with it. Junta so close to that wall, and that transition through the touch and go, but not a problem. No mistake. Yeah, we see a small rump on the wall from Junta potentially. That could work out in Sebastian's favour. They're now going to transition to outside zone 3. Junta just playing a little bit safer and stepping out. But look at him with the proximity now. He's back on Seb's door. Transitions in, almost predicting his move before Seb's even done it. They're now going to pull it out down the straight. Let's see if they can do it again here. Let's hope Sebastian doesn't make any mistakes. They put it right by the wall, about as close as they could possibly make it happen. Sebastian doing an amazing job under the pressure of Junta, but Junta not giving him a single millimetre to make it happen. Wow. Let's see which way that works out in the judge's eye. Maybe that little mistake from Junta on outside zone 2 up on the wall could cost him, but it wasn't that disruptive. And we see Sebastian Thorley take the win against Junta. Whoa! Amazing work. First driver of the weekend to take. Moving on, it is Sebastian Thorley versus Hikaru here at the 2026 Clash of the Titans final in Erfurt, Germany. Sebastian, of course, two-time winner of Clash of the Titans, and of course Hikaru Hoshi of Team Rêve D, two Rêve D drivers as well. This could get very spicy. This is quite literally Europe's finest versus Japan's finest. I could not tell you which way I think this is going to go. It's going to be ecstatic. Keep an eye on those lights and let's get it. Hikaru out front to start. Sebastian falling back already. He's going to have to work hard to match the pace. Transitions in. Really nice job through the touch and go. He uses that opportunity to catch up with Seb and get on his door. They transition deep down into outer zone 2. Hikaru just a little bit deeper than Seb. Seb now falling back through the transition. Takes the second dive. He's not quite there, matching the angle of Hikaru just yet. They transition into the inner clip. Seb having a little bit of an awkward situation up on the curve there. As they transition down, look at Hikaru with that transition down. And Seb has now got an answer for him all the way around as they go into that final outside zone. Very interesting stuff. I think that hook up on the curve from Seb there could be something to keep an eye on. This is, of course, the final, though. They've swapped over. This could be the last run we see of the weekend. Let me know at home if you're watching. Let me know in the comments. We've hit 500 viewers. Good work, people. Keep an eye. Let's go. Sebastian Thorley now out front with Hikaru in the chase position. Hikaru is going to be fighting hard to make this work. He's right there with Seb as they head straight down into outer zone 2. Seb right on the line that he needs to be on. Comes out a little bit wide. He allows the room for Hikaru just to tuck in behind him. And they're right there. Look at them up against that wall. Not a millimetre between them. Transitions round. In a clip too. Hikaru just slightly offline. He's going to have to bring it back in. They're going to set up for the straight now. Comes out wide. And the snap there from Seb. Seb comes in. Super tight on the transition. Amazing work. Hikaru doing an amazing job just to match him so perfectly well. And there they are. Over the line. Wowee. Amazing work.
Second place. Second place goes to
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Sebastian, second place. That's for you, the man from England.